So
All
now we're
right.
about to go ahead and get started on this client. So as you can see, as you know from our previous module, we have shaped the brows. So now we are going to fill our needle with our color that we selected. For this client in particular, we are using the colors Mallard and Dark Fudge. As you can see, she is very fair toned melanated woman, but she also has rosiness to her. With that rosiness, we want to use the inverse, which is Mallard. It has a green tint to it. And with that, we also use Dark Fudge, which has subtle reds, but gives it that base and that brown that we'll need to make sure that this color shows on her, but it isn't too dark, so that way it still looks really natural in her end healed results. Okay, so now we see the brow very clearly, and we're going to begin the tattooing process. So as we go in here, we want to start on that line and start from right above the very lowest point and do little strokes going 75% back and 25% forward. And this you go really slow because you want to make sure that her skin picks up the pigment. You don't want to rush through the outline, because if you rush through the outline and you wipe away the tattoo and it's not stretched properly, you can't see properly, you will suffer with having to remap the entire brow from the beginning, especially if you're new to this industry, if you're new to doing permanent makeup and string mapping. It typically takes a newbie about 30 minutes to an hour. And I've even worked with students where I had to be very strategic and take even more than an hour to teach them. So make sure that you do a great job of doing a 3-point stretch. As you can see, you can use your ring finger or your pinky finger to stretch the lid of her eye, and then use your thumb and your pointer finger or your middle finger, whatever works for you, to stretch the skin on the top of the brow. And also, you see how she kind of flinched there at that point in the front of the top of the bottom of the brow? It's because that's a nerve. So then, excuse my head. So then you want to go ahead and go back in and ensure that you properly stretch that skin and pull the needle towards you, but in very slow baby steps. You don't want to work too deep. We're working in the very first layer of the skin. So make sure you take your time and work in that first layer of the skin and pull the needle towards you. Okay? Continue to pull that needle towards you as you work through it, and go at a pace where you're going 75% back and only 25% forward. And as you get to the front of this brow, especially at the top of the brow, you want to make the strokes longer. You want the strokes to look more pixelated instead of a harsh, deep line, because you want it to look very natural. So as you can see, I'm not going back so much. I'm doing more of a pixelation, and you even see me do a little shading at the top. That is actually even lighter than what I was doing before. So now that I have the outline in pretty well, I am going to go in and I'm going to grab the tattoo butter and use that tattoo butter to then check my outline before I wipe it all away. So I have a Q-tip and I have a tattoo butter, and I am checking it piece by piece to ensure that it is all there. You can do even less than I did by just checking the middle of the tail, the middle of the front of the brow. And once you see that your outline is there, go ahead and wipe away. I know this is very light, but I promise you that's what you want. If your outline is too deep and dark, it will be noticeable when you have finished results. So be very light and just refine your eye to be able to see the lines. And even when you occlude the brow with the numb and the saran wrap covering, the outline will pop out even more because now the skin there is open. It's a wound that has been created because you have punctured the skin with your 1RL needle. So trust the process. Even if you wipe away and you don't see anything immediately and you wipe completely away, put that numb on, and I'm sure once you have it numbed and you take it off, you will be able to see like, oh wow. So once you have the outline done, you're going to do a very quick pass to go through the brow and break the skin so that way your secondary numb works. I'll get more into that in the next video, but just know that you just need to break the skin. Once that skin is open, you can then go in with your ultra duration, the secondary numb that I recommend to you all, and then put the saran wrap over top to help the brow occlude and let it really sit in. After you have done the outline, open the skin and applied the numb, you want to go over to the right side of the brow and do the exact same thing. It's like a copy and paste method.